Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. You've heard of this term. It's really today a hot topic and now a solid part of our culture. DEI must be looked at as an ongoing initiative for your organization. And to discuss this today, I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Felicia Townsend, the Program Director for the Hygiene Network and ISSA Charities Program. Felicia, welcome, and how are you?
I'm good, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, it's an important opportunity to share what Hygiene is doing with DEI and get your thoughts. So if you're ready, let's jump into a couple questions. How's that sound?
Sure, sounds great.
Okay, my first question, Felicia, is share with us how you feel about the value of DEI and what it encompasses. Just how important is this topic today?
You know, Jeff, that is such a great question. And, you know, diversity, equity, inclusion will always be a value topic to address. You know, we tend to use the term DEI very loosely, you know, but it's important for individuals to understand what each of these components mean within the context of their own organization. So when I think about diversity and how I define it in the context of women in the cleaning industry, I always tell myself that, you know, women are not this monolithic being. You know, we're not just a gender. You know, we're made up of different ethnicities, ages, religions, political views, you know, and so much more. And so that is what makes us diverse. When we talk about equity, you know, equity allows us to address the structural inequalities that benefit some and not others. And so inclusion is when you take that diverse population and provide them with a sense of belonging and give them an opportunity to reach their full potential. And that's what we try to do with Hygiene. We help women to advance in their careers and reach their full potential. So that's pretty much what DEI and diversity, equity, inclusion means to me.
Very nice. Good description. It's always good to hear a nice description of a sometimes confusing topic.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
What has the Hygiene Network accomplished so far? And the bigger question, planning for the future?
Oh, Jeff, we've accomplished so much over the past few years in terms of our educational programming. So we have increased our networking and leadership conference attendance as well as our webinars. Over the past couple years, over 2,700 industry professionals have attended our virtual conferences and webinars. So moving forward, we're looking to transition back to in-person conferences across the US and internationally. Another really exciting thing that we're doing is we are launching our ISSA Hygiene Network Career Academy. And this is a part of the ISSA's online learning center. So individuals will be able to gain access to our past virtual conferences and webinars. And so they will also be able to view our new on-demand programming. So this is critical for Hygiene because not only do we want, you know, to reach the person who's able to attend our live events, we also want to be able to reach those individuals who, you know, may not have time during the day to attend a conference. So when they access our content online, you know, they'll have access to it on demand. Also too, Jeff, I don't know why you got me started on this, but I do have a lot to say about Hygiene. We actually partner with DePaul University School of Continuing and Professional Studies. They will offer a Career Edge certificate in partnership with, of course, Hygiene. It'll be comprised of 3 modules that deal with skill development to support one in their career. So this program will be offered on demand on the new ISSA Hygiene Career Academy platform. So we are just really moving with that project and we're really excited. And then finally, in the area of educational programming, in terms of the future, we are looking to develop content that is specific to DEI. We really want to provide like best practices and resources that leaders in these organizations can use and implement as they try to move their DEI efforts forward. So we just want to be at the forefront of sharing that information and being the resource for companies to follow. Also, Jeff, we have our mentoring program, and I would say since 2018, we've had over 700 professionals who have participated at some point in our program, which connects industry leaders with seasoned professionals. So we are really excited about growing and continuing to develop the program. We also have increased our regional communities. We have 8 regions, 7 in the US and 1 international, which is in Canada. And our regional communities provide an opportunity for members to engage in their LinkedIn groups, as well as attend in-person networking activities. At this point, as of 2022, we have over 700, close to 700 individuals who are engaged within those regions. One other area, Jeff, is we are continuing our partnership with McKinsey & Company. We are a part of their Women in the Workplace study. And so, the McKinsey study is one of the largest studies that look at women in corporate America across all industries. So it highlights best practices as related to DEI. It also explores experiences of different groups of women in the workplace. So I will say that as a result of our participation with the McKinsey study last year, GIA actually implemented and executed a executive roundtable. It took place November of 2021, and we're going to do it again in 2022. And we brought together various executives across the industry to talk about the results of the McKinsey study. So we are really moving forward with that. In closing, Jeff, we also developed a executive leadership committee. And so that committee will be responsible for overseeing the coordination of our participation in the McKinsey study moving forward, as well as all of our executive roundtables. So as you see, Jeff, Hygiene is on fire. We are doing a lot of great work as related to advancement of women in the industry.
I think my question should have been, what are you not doing? Because we just about ran out of tape. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's good to see. It's a lot of activity, a lot of planning. And it's deep. What you're planning to do is not just surface activity. It goes deep and will make a difference. So a lot of great activity, Felicia. I don't know who's in charge over there.
Well, Jeff, I can't do this work alone. I'm the program director. Of course, I oversee the programming of our educational and our networking conferences and webinars and operations and all that. But we have over 55 dedicated corporate leaders who actually assist us in helping to move our mission forward. And so these 55 plus volunteers span over 7 committees, and these committees actually oversee each of the programs that I talked about. So it's not a one-woman show here. It's really a group effort, and so we are really grateful for our volunteers who make this happen.
Speaking of which, we have a few lined up to talk about what they're doing. Why don't we listen to what they have to say?
Sounds good.
I'm Laura Craven with Imperial, and I'm currently the co-chairwoman of the ISSA Hygiene Network. A few years ago, as part of our overarching ESG strategy, Imperial Dade wanted to formalize our commitment to DE&I. We wanted to make sure that those efforts felt very genuine and personalized for our organization. So we decided on a name and a branded logo to help us convey our message, and we call it a workplace of belonging. We use that workplace of belonging logo on posters and other materials around our facilities and other public-facing initiatives to convey to all of our stakeholders that this is a very important part of our culture. We have recently surveyed all of our employees by a third-party company and asked for feedback on DE&I topics as well as others. And the next steps will be to analyze that feedback and act on it. We have instituted training programs for our managers, and formed a DE&I committee. We're also participating in McKinsey's Women in the Workplace study this year. Our next steps are to launch an internal mentoring program and employee resource groups. We want to make sure that we're continuing to live up to our commitment to make sure that Imperial Date's culture is one of inclusivity. It's fair and respectful.
I'm Adam Kamai with Sunbelt Rentals. I currently serve on the council and as chair of the education committee with ISSA's Hygiene Network. At Sunbelt Rentals, we are constantly seeking ways to better support our people, our customers, and the communities we serve. A core piece of this journey began back in January of 2021 when we realigned areas of focus to promote our then head of human resources, Cheryl Black, and positioned her to lead culture and engagement for the entire organization. Her efforts have notably been focused on growing our employee resource groups, and I'll go through 3 of them, starting with our Sunbelt Rentals Veterans Program. We're committed to supporting veterans and want them to be able to find a fulfilling workplace where they can enrich our culture and contribute to what we call the power of Sunbelt. The Veterans Program was built by veterans for veterans to assist with challenges faced by our multinational platform. Led by former U.S. Navy Master Chief Shane McKenzie, the program is focused on 4 pillars: resources, recruitment, recognition, and retention. Next is our diversity and inclusion ERG. The primary purpose of our D&I ERG is to address opportunities to influence and positively impact our culture through the education of and regular feedback from our team members. This group is comprised of 14 council members and over 400 passionate team members who are actively engaging in conversations and education across the business. As a result from this group, we're excited to offer a 2-hour immersion in DEI virtual workshop where our team members can learn about diversity, inclusion, unconscious bias, allyship, and much more. Additionally, we recently rolled out Inclusion Day, where team members can enjoy any recognized holiday or celebration significant to their heritage, customs, or faith. Finally, our women's ERG, branded as WISE, Women Inspired, Supported, Empowered. WISE welcomes all team members to participate in building an inclusive culture and workplace that empowers women and increases female representation across the organization. With the Council of Women across all levels of the business, we've built a foundation of committees which will focus on education, mentorship, networking opportunities, and of course, advocacy. As we look to the future, our next steps at Sunbelt Rentals include reviewing foundational elements of our organization, such as hiring practices, benefit packages, additional leadership training, and an elevated focus on overall awareness and advocacy. We are eager to continue to build our membership among the core ERGs as we look to transform the industry by advancing the careers of a more inclusive workforce.
My name is Heidi Solomon. I work for KimberlyClark Professional. I lead our global strategy team. So KimberlyClark, our corporate mission is better care for a better world. That care starts here in KimberlyClark with our people. It includes how we value each other and deliver in our market. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are cornerstones of that important mission. We consider it foundational to what we do. We have 4 pillars that our KC community understands and drives towards. First, we create community. Everyone understands the role that they play in creating a DEI environment, one that empowers individual authenticity to ensure the daily reality of all of our employees. The second pillar is that we leverage leadership. We are purposeful in how we engage our teams, and we actively solicit different points of view, supporting different ways of working. The third pillar is we empower our employees to thrive and grow to their fullest potential with a focus on attracting and retaining talent. And then the last pillar is we accelerate action. DEI is at the center of everything we do, which makes an impact not only on our employees, but on our customers and our consumers. Those are the 4 pillars, and I have some examples of how we bring that to life. The first thing is that within our organization, we conduct caring conversations, what we call caring conversations. where we engage our employees in leader-led discussions that shine light on micro inequities in our workplace, and then we solve for them. Last year, we invested our time to accelerate our culture by launching global DE&I programs for team leaders. Each leader explored their own leadership style and committed to listening and respecting different opinions, recognizing the value that each unique voice can contribute to our results. Another great example that is product-led was our Continental partnership with the nonprofit Black Health to help reach Black consumers with critical information about colorectal cancer, which impacts the Black community at greater rates. They are working together to encourage colorectal cancer screening and have distributed thousands of free in-home screening tests. And then a last example that I'd like to give, which is near and dear to ISSA's heart, in 2020, KCP proudly donated $500,000 to stand up a scholarship program in collaboration with ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Industry Association, and Global Biorisk Advisory Council, GBAC, a division of ISSA. The program addressed the needs of cleaning professionals during the COVID-19 pandemic by offering scholarships in smaller cleaning organizations. These scholarships provided critical training on infectious disease prevention and control measures for their own employees. So those are just a few of the examples that we do externally and in support of DE&I initiatives. At Kimberly-Clark, treating individuals with respect is the way that we conduct business. We're building an organization that looks and thinks like our customers and consumers around the world, and we proactively recruit talented people with different perspectives and varied backgrounds. This is what makes us stronger, and it is integral in our culture.